My name is Franklin Posner. I've lived in the Portland, Oregon area all my life, and I've written 2 novels that have been published so far. One is Suburban Vampire, a tale of the human condition with vampires, and its sequel, Suburban Vampire Ragnarok. The name Franklin Posner is, of course, a pen name. Seemed like a good idea at the time when I came up with the idea. Part of it came from Benjamin Franklin, of all people, who, of course, had several pen names over his life. Silence Dogood, Poor Richard, etc. And I just liked the idea of having a last name as the first name of this persona. And Posner was chosen at random, pretty much, out of a phone book, really. Not very exciting, but that's the origin of the name. As to where the idea for Suburban Vampire came from, it developed and evolved over a period of time. I had never actually thought I'd write a book about vampires. I watched the movies. I'd read Bram Stoker. Read Little Anne Rice, and yeah, it was okay, and then sure, fun, whatever. But the idea came from a couple places, and one was the idea I had for a very unassuming, regular, everyday kind of guy, just a normal, unnoticeable kind of character who finds himself in extraordinary circumstances. And he is something that other people don't understand or don't know that he's that. And that, in fact, predated the whole sort of paranormal twist. It was originally the idea for a high-valued secret agent assassin type character who lived in suburbia and who eventually gets recruited to do something pretty selfless and not motivated by money or anything like that, to rescue some young women involved in human trafficking, which is kind of a storyline I worked into the 3rd novel, which is not yet published. In terms of my process, what processes I use, there's really no magical set process that I use. I write in short snippets, brief little interludes, maybe an hour at a time, take a break, go back, do it all over again. Sometimes I'll take weekends off, and I will just not work or not write, and then return to it the next week. And that is the entirety of my process. In terms of where I'm at in the Suburban Vampire series, of course I've published the first 2, and then I have 2 more written in the series, already titled. The 3rd novel will be titled Suburban Vampire Reckoning, and the 4th one, The Holy Death. I've written a book of origins for some of the side characters in Suburban Vampire, and now I'm writing the 5th actual book in the series, which I have titled right now Suburban Vampire Redemption. It's going to tie up a lot of the storylines from the past 4. I've also written a non-suburban vampire related novel, which is also an urban fantasy kind of novel titled Thorn, about a washed up former police detective who has come across some vast powers that he has in terms of interacting with spirits and stuff. And that's written in the form of a sort of a hard-boiled detective novel with that spiritual, supernatural element to it. As far as awards go, I have shortlisted in the 2017 Ozma Paranormal Fiction Awards for my first novel, Suburban Vampire, A Tale of the Human Condition with Vampires. It was part of a short list of finalists for that award, although I did not win the first place award itself. That in itself is a huge achievement for me, and really kind of tells me that I have something that people who are pretty critical seem to recognize. And another defining moment in my career was when I placed in that short list. And who knows what's in the future. What is the future of Franklin Posner? Sky's the limit, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I dream of New York Times bestseller list and big movie or television deals. But in the meantime, until that happens, if it does, I settle for being the best version of me I can be, to be the best Franklin Posner I can be, and to pursue my passion regardless of profit or success, whatever you may define success as.